Hey, good morning. Hopefully you're well. And I believe the microphone has been working really well. So I think you got good sound, good quality. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, what are we going to do today? Well, we have three parallel gospels. We are on walk number 29. The other thing is we've been walking together for 90 days in this chronological walk, Life Application Study Bible, chronological walk of Jesus and his life. Now, next week, I will probably do a little bit more for Christmas. There's one specific topic that I'd like to cover next week that Robbie blew me away by. And Also, a new view of the wise men that I had that I wanted to share with you. So here's what I want to know today. Text me, whoever is watching this. 4 people watched yesterday, and I didn't know any of you did, so that's awesome. Some of you are keeping up, and I appreciate that. So 4 of you are keeping up for sure. What I'd like to know is text me. And for some reason, if you don't have my number, I'll give it to you now, 618-541-9399, 618-541-9399. I'd like to know, do you prefer Matthew, Mark, or Luke of the 3 gospel writers that are paralleled in this, Matthew, Mark, or Luke? We've not been hearing much from John. It's not for a while that I think we hear from John. I'm going to read from Matthew today. I didn't want to, but it's interesting for me. I love the chronological perspective. So listen to how Luke starts. He just starts one day. One day, we don't know what day. So Luke could be all over the board as far as the way he wrote his gospel, and we have no idea. Mark wrote, once again, Jesus began teaching by the lakeshore. So again, we don't really have a perspective of when Jesus is right or Jesus is doing this. However, interestingly enough, when I wasn't going to read from Matthew today, Matthew says later that same day. So here's what we know. We know that walk 28 was part of this process. Let's see if we go back one day, some teachers. Okay, so more than likely 27, 28, and 29 were all the same day. I'm just trying to keep it chronological, trying to give us a chronological daily walk of what did Jesus accomplish? What did the apostles do daily? And so here we're going to find out. But again, tell me, if you can, text me today, what is your favorite gospel in the perspective of what we're doing or just the way it speaks to you? Is it Matthew, Mark, Luke, and we'll include John? Matthew, let's see, what does he say? 13, 1 through 23. So this is going to be rather long, so hang on. Later that same day, Jesus left the house and sat beside the lake. A large crowd soon gathered around him, so he got into the boat. Then he sat there and taught as the people stood on the shore. He told many stories in the form of parables, such as this one. Listen, a farmer went out to plant some seeds. As he scattered them across his field, some seeds fell on a footpath, and the birds came and ate them. Other seeds fell on shallow soil with underlying rock. The seeds sprouted quickly because the soil was shallow. But the plants soon wilted under the hot sun, and since they did not have deep roots, they died. Other seeds fell among the thorns and grew up and choked out the tender plants. Still other seeds fell on fertile soil, and they produced a crop that was 30, 60, and even 100 times as much as had been planted. Anyone who has ears to hear should listen and understand. His disciples came and asked him, "Why do you use parables when you talk to the people?" He replied, "You are permitted to understand the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but others are not." I'm going to stop right there because I think there's enough meat and potatoes in that, and we're already 5 minutes in. So I'm going to make a mark right there. That is at the end of 11. So that is Matthew 13, 1 through 11. And what I'm going to talk about today is, who are we today? Are we seeds that fell, that were scattered? Are we seeds that fell on a footpath? Are we seeds that fell, that is also shallow soil? So are we seeds that fell on shallow soil? Are we seeds that sprouted quickly? Are we seeds that wilted under the sun? The plants that wilted under the sun? Is that what happened to us? We didn't have deep roots. Did we not have deep roots? Are we seeds that grew up and that were choked out because we fell among the thorns? Okay? Choked out. Are we seeds that grew up and were choked out by the thorns? So were we tender plants? It even says that. Were we tender plants that were choked out by the thorns? Still, other seeds fell on fertile soil, and they produced a crop that was 30, 60, and even 100 times as much had been planted. Anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand. So who are we? Who are we? Who have we been being? Where did we place ourselves? Janelle and I were very careful. And if you're from Illinois, please don't take offense to this. But here's what we were concerned about. Okay. And I don't think this applies to anybody who's going to listen to this. But if you're offended, feel free to call me about this, please. Okay. I probably won't, right? Be video viewer number 5 and they won't call. But we did not go back to Illinois because we felt after we were saved, especially 2007 when we moved to Nashville, Tennessee, we felt like we were soft plants that wanted to thrive, and we knew that we would be choked out. We knew that we would have a tendency to fall into our old ways. We knew if we didn't want to fall in our own ways, why would we be choked out? Well, because who would we hang out with, right? And who would we go to? Who would our friends be? Would our friends be our old friends, which we did still connect with? Would they be our new friends? And could we be strong enough to choke them out, right? Were we too soft and were they too thorny? Now it's interesting. So now this is where you cannot be offended, Illinoisans, because now we've grown up to be strong enough to have and show, hopefully be seen as good fruits and have good fruits from a harvest already, having done a ministry, and that ministry has been retired, and now doing a new ministry called Agua de la Roca. So hopefully our ministry speaks for us. Hopefully our credibility has been built, and now we've made new friends such as Shelly, Janice, Dale. And when I say new friends, what do I mean by that? I mean new friends in a new light. You've all been friends. The 3 that I've spoke about, you've all been friends from the past, but you're new friends. You're newly devoting your life. My friend Kurt Heyer, he is watching and I would call it paying attention. I'd call it somewhat trying to manage. The word I want to use is pretending, Kurt, and I don't think that's fair. But for Kurt, if you're watching this, for Kurt Heyer, if you want to pray for Kurt, I'm praying for him to be baptized. For you all who are up there in Illinois, I'm praying for you to be baptized so that you can be fertilized. Even if you're in shallow soil, we can replant you. God can replant you, and you can thrive outside of the thorns that are around you. Some of you are dealing with the thorns right now, and we are praying with you that those thorns would not win out, that you would grow and you would grow through that process. And if you need to be replanted and flourish. So hopefully we can see the seeds that will produce a crop that is 30, 60, and 100 times as much that has been planted. Peace.